Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. I'm actually in this one, playing Turbo Depths a few times. I have actually been playing in our Wednesday and Friday night Legacy tournaments. Usually if there's a bye or if there's not a ton of people, when we get closer to 20 people, there's no way I can actually be able to run the shop and play in the tournament. But I believe this one we had 14 people or so. So I figured why not go ahead and run some Turbo Depths. And here we are in the finals of this event versus Pyle Suzer on a Renin 6 Delver deck that he's been on an absolute tear, consistently placing in the money, if not winning the events. And it looks like a mulligan happening here for Turbo Depths. This new London mulligan, certainly a huge boon to combo decks, but really all decks. I mean, everyone gets to use it, and it doesn't seem like the metagame has really been distorted by the kind of premium starting hands that we now have. If anything, it just seems like there's more entertaining matches of Magic. Turbo Depths has picked up some new tools, cards like Elvish Reclaimer. Sad to say, I am not running them. This is like a list from 6 months ago that I just happen to have sleeved up, so we'll see how this goes. Veil of Summer and the Elvish Reclaimer. Cards that are very powerful, and I look forward to actually sleeving them up. So leading out with a Scalding Tarn, Urborg into Expedition Map. Fetch, can afford Divine, dual lands, no problem here. Not going to be punishing the mana base. And at this point, this land's actually going to tap for blue, black, or red. A Grixis Tri-land here. Forget what the name of that card is. Crumbled Sanctuary, Crumbled Citadel, something. There's definitely a Shards land that does that. Anyways, we've got a Daze. Actually, looks like the Daze was being thrown at that Expedition map. The speed that happened, actually a little surprising. I thought the map had resolved. Now we see Ponder. And just moving forward here, Bayou. No real fear of Wasteland. It's almost always incorrect for your opponent to be now Force of Will on this Sylvan Scrying. It's almost always incorrect for a deck to Wasteland just to deny you mana in this matchup. Wasteland being such a key way of stopping you from making your 20/20. And Tarmogoyf coming down already. A 4/6. Will not take much. There's an artifact in there as well. A Ghost Quarter, which can tap for black thanks to the Urborg. And Thoughtseize grabs a Lightning Bolt, paying 2 life and a card to avoid taking 3 damage. And now Sylvan Safekeeper. That guy most likely just going to be a chump blocker. And I believe an Expedition map joining in. Goyf turning sideways. Blocking only makes the problem worse, adding creatures to the graveyard. Gonna hold off on that as long as possible. And now a Dark Depths. So this game has been a bit of a car crash. Things being countered all over the place, but just kind of slowly piecing together the combo. crop rotation during the upkeep. Floating some mana. And really, conditional counter is not going to help here. Because a mana floating can pay 2 more, so Spell Piercing Daze is not going to be very good. Once it resolves, they don't do anything. Can this Ren and 6 Delver deck do anything to handle this from here? This is a disaster. So crop rotation, finding Thespian Stage. That's going to create a 2020 Merit Lage token, and it's in there. And that is it. So despite multiple counters, Turbo Depth showing some real resiliency there. And just assembling the combo, crop rotation finally resolving. Grabbing that Thespian Stage, and Goyf not proving to be a fast enough clock here. That Sylvan Safekeeper has skyrocketed in value. Even with the reprint, now that it's actually being played, that card is basically gone from a bulk rare to almost $10 at many stores. Card does some work. I mean, it shuts off things like Karakas, bouncing from Jace the Mind Sculptor. It is very formidable when you're trying to answer the specific strategy of dealing with Justice Merit Lage. He just does an incredible job on defense. He even soaks up a Liliana's Triumph or activation of Liliana the Veil, just sacrificing himself. And you can actually set up protection for the Merit Lage prior to that. Which can be difficult to play around. This does feel like one of the matchups where this 2020 is going to go pretty much uncontested. Flipped Delvers are a consideration, like being able to block and buy extra turns, not without consequence. Turbo Depths has access to Abrupt Decays, and to a lesser degree, Assassin's Trophy, to be able to handle any type of potential problem blockers. Bitter Blossom could be an incredibly strong card here, generating a bunch of 1/1s. That can be a real problem for Dark Depths. A Wasteland in Kyle's opener. Very likely keepable, given how strong Wasteland is in the matchup. Does he have any other lands at all? He does. He has at least a Scalding Tarn, so Wasteland, Scalding Tarn, and 5 Pokemon cards would probably be keepable in this matchup. In all seriousness, no, Wasteland is really the main problem for Turbo Depths. It can't be Thoughtseized, it can't be Duressed. There are a lot of things you can do to play around it. You do actually run 4 Pithing Needle in this build to try and shut off Wasteland. But we've got Daze on Thoughtseize paying the 1. And we see Surgical and Renin 6 and Lightning Bolt. So Daze just trading for that Lotus Petal. This Thoughtseize resolving. And that takes the Renin 6, leaving Surgical, Bolt, Wasteland. Delver does not flip. Wasteland lands on board. The combo is now going to be much harder. Going to need a Pithing Needle or a Ghost Quarter, or 2 ways to activate the combo. You can force the issue by sacrificing a Vampire Hexmage. Then your opponent must use their Wasteland to prevent the combo. And then you can respond with Thespian Stage to get your 2020 anyways. Kyle in reasonable shape here with this early creature. If they can flip and start putting some real pressure, Lightning Bolt, cutting an additional turn out. This extra reach actually welcome. It may seem like type of card that you don't want in the deck because you can't really do a whole lot. It's not like the current builds that are running Dark Confidant where you're happy to actually take out some of their creatures. Lightning Bolt is pretty much just going to go to the face here and close that window, and that's got to be good enough. Down to just 7. End of turn, Thespian Stage copying Wasteland and wastelanding it back in response. Vampire Hexmage. And Dark Depths. So Thespian Stage during the end step, setting this all up by copying Wasteland. Now the Dark Depths, we got a 20/20 at 7 life. Gonna need some very specific combination of cards. You're gonna need like a Renin 6 and a Lightning Bolt. We've already seen a couple. Now this Delver can chump block. Drawing for turn, Surgical, still in hand. A Ponder shows a Lightning Bolt so close at 4 life. Really need like runner burn spells. And now a Dreadhorde Arcanist. So it looks like a chump block could be in the future. If that's the case, this should be lethal. Can this Delver of Secrets be handled? Crop rotation. Oh, and it's resolving. Crop rotation's gonna resolve, and this should do it. Sajiri Step giving it pro blue and swinging in. And Turbo Depths just a turn fast enough to get there against this very interesting new Renin 6 Delver deck. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.